Hi, I'm John, and this is part 4 of my F1 23 Career Mode series. And in this part, we'll be racing on the Baku Street Circuit in Azerbaijan. Alright, here we are in Baku, and the track here is a street track. It's very narrow, the walls are really close by, and the slightest of mistakes can ruin your race, so it's gonna require full concentration for most of the lap. So yeah, the braking points here are really tough, and if you lock up or misjudge your braking, you're gonna end up in the runoff area, and yeah, that's gonna drop you at the back end of the pack, and yeah, that's gonna ruin your race entirely. So yeah, let's try to avoid that. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a dry weekend, a little bit cloudy on the race day. Other than that, we brought some upgrades here to the chassis and to the aerodynamics. So yeah, we'll see if that gives us any edge of our competitors. I think we'll be fighting just outside the points, but if anything happens ahead and if we get lucky, we might have a shot at points. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting weekend. I don't really know what to expect, so yeah, let's just jump into qualifying and see how we do there. Alright, let's do this. Locked up. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in continuing on this tire. Put on some new boots, and let's see what the others have done so far. Alex did a 1:45.6. Alright, let's try to beat that. 45.0. Not too bad. And I even did the fastest sector 3 out of anyone. Nice. Yeah, 6 tenths or 5.5 tenths ahead of my teammate, so that's nice. Let's see if we have enough time to do one last lap. What is this Alfa Romeo doing? Alright, that was a good lap. I got blocked by Zoe a bit there in the turn 2, but other than that...
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Verstappen, Perez and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Okay, that was a decent qualifying session. Didn't start out too strong. I locked up into turn 2, but second run was okay. I needed to get a lap in, so it was more of a banker lap. And then on my third and final run, I just gave it my all and yeah, improved by almost half a second and ended up in P10. So yeah, gives us a good chance to fight for points. And yeah, should be an interesting race, so let's see what happens.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and it's made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town and even brushes against the city 1980s medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to a catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Mäkinen, Tsunoda, Zhou, Ocon, Albon, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Stroll, De Vries, Gasly, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson will be sharing his insight alongside me once again today. What should we be looking out for, Ant? Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot's going to be riding on those first few corners, and then the question becomes who can manage their tyres so they're in a better position to push hard towards the end.
OK, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Yep, that's the plan. Alright, so 8 laps on the mediums and 10 laps on the hards. Okay, let's do it. What the fuck?
OK, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta. The safety car's out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Be careful.
Yeah, I just got brake checked. Going into turn 2. Got massive damage. Right rear has shredded. I'm trying to get back to the pits.
Right rear tyre has shredded. We've lost the rear right.
Yep. That's what I just told you.
OK, we've got a shredded tyre. We need you in now. Box, box, box.
Yep. I'm trying.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
Confirm change.
Understood. Copy that.
I have no idea what's happened there.
OK, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Yep. not think I was gonna make it back here.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy.
Yep, good job team. Sorry about that start. Let's see if I can catch the pack before the safety car ends.
Alexander is out of the race.
That's a shame.
Okay, the underbody's taken some damage. You might start to notice it soon.
Yep.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Yep. Don't think I'll be overtaking anyone anytime soon.
Job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Well, at least I'm going faster than the safety car.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
It's just locked up.
Nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
What was that? The car just refused to turn. And the ERS was stuck on. I don't know what happened.
It's never an easy race here in Azerbaijan. There's drama around every corner, but they've come through to take a brilliant victory here today. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So let's review the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings, and Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Oof, well, that was a hard hit, but yeah, terrible race overall. The start was very strange, but looking at the replays, Russell got some damage to his car into turn 1, and yeah, I think he couldn't carry on and was going very slowly, which caused a Constantine effect with everyone braking when they catched up to Russell, and of course I had no idea of that, and I was gonna go on the inside into turn 2 with Ocon ahead of me, but then just Ocon just slammed on the brakes and I had no time to react and just crashed into the back of the Alpine, and then Albon behind me crashed into me, which took him out of the race, which was very unfortunate. Yeah, I managed to limp back to the pits just in time, but I didn't have enough time to catch up the safety car queue. So yeah, I was pretty much out of the race unless something would have happened later on in the race to get me back. So yeah, I was just waiting for anything to happen, but yeah, then suddenly on lap 4, I think, going into the final fast turn, I think I was going in a strange angle into the turn. I think I was too deep in the inside line and just didn't realize it. So the car didn't turn enough into the corner. I just slammed into the outside wall, and yeah, that was quite a hit. But yeah, these kinds of weekends happen. It's racing, so yeah, we'll just have to try to bounce back in the next one. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to stay tuned for more.